Hello everyone, I'm Sher and you are watching Sher English Language Learning and Educational Complex. And my today's topic is about verb. And today we are going to discuss what is verb, what are their different types, where they are used, and all the relevant information about verbs. So let's discuss the definition first. Verbs are actually actions which are done by subjects. In other words, verbs are actions itself in the sentences. And in a sentence, there are three important features. The first one is subject. We call it like doer of action. The second one is action, which is action itself. And the third one is object, receiver of an action. So let's go towards the forms of the verbs. So there are two different schools of thought. One say that verb has got four forms. The other one say as we use S or ES form with the third person singular, he, she, it. So verb has got five forms. So let's have a look at them here. The first one, we see here the first or base form of the verb, and it is in this case is play. The another form is S or ES form. This is also the part of the first form of the verb, but it is written differently with S or ES. As I just mentioned, we use them with the third person singular, he, she, it. When we say he plays or he washes, so in this case, we use S or ES. So that's why that schools of thought call this is also a form of the verb. And then comes the second part, second or past form of the verb. In this case, we see played. And then comes the third one, third or past participle. It is called third form of the verb or past participle. And finally, the fifth one is present participle or ing form of the verb. And these we use in different tenses and in different locations. So these are the five forms, and we are going to the next slide to talk about the types of verbs. But before this, I would like to bring your kind notice towards this sentence that says verb is the main part of the predicate. Now we need to know what is the predicate. Actually, a general sentence is consisted of two parts, always two part in fact. So in this case we see in white color they, and in black color go to college for their classes. So it has got two parts. So the first part they is called subject, or in other words we say doer of action, and the rest of the sentence in black, it is called predicate. And in this case, the verb go is the center or nucleus of the predicate. So let's talk about the types of the verbs. There are different types of verbs according to their functions, according to their usage. So let's talk about them. So here we see the first one, regular verbs, and then irregular verbs, and there are helping or auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary is actually the synonym of helping verb, helping. So that's why they are the same. And then there is action verb or main verb, and we have got possessive verbs, to be verbs, linking verbs, to do verbs, sensory verbs, causative verbs, modal verbs, transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, and finally active or passive verbs. I'm not going to discuss all of these in this video because it's going to be lengthier in this case. So I will just discuss five of them. I think that would be enough. And the remaining I will discuss in the coming video. So let's discuss the first one, action or main verbs. They show actions in the sentences The examples are eat, walk, talk, sleep, finish, start, open, close. So these all are the examples of action verbs or main verbs. And you can also categorize verbs into two forms like helping verbs or main verbs, something like that. So they are actually called the main verb as well. And the second one is regular verbs. Regular verbs are those verbs which take D, ED, IED in the second or third form of the verb. In this case, we see examples played, arrived, and studied. See here, played, arrived, and studied. So if we look at the word played with the like good observation, we see in play, we added ed. So that is it turned into played. And then we see the other word arrive, and we see there arrive already has got the E in there. We just added D and it came into arrived. And then studied was actually study. And in study, if we see word D comes before Y, and D is a consonant. So it's a rule whenever D comes before Y, or we can say like a consonant come before Y, we change into IED in the second or third form if they are regular words. So in this case, we used D, ED, and IED. So, and now we are turning towards the irregular words. They are actually in contrast to the regular words, and they, in fact, do not take D, ED, IED in the second or third form of the verb. And if we look at the examples, drove, swam, came, bought. So we notice that there is no D, ED, or IED. And we can, the first form of drove is like drive, drove, driven, swim, swam, swam, come, came, come, buy, bought, bought. So they are called irregular verbs. And the next one is helping or auxiliary verbs. As I mentioned before, auxiliary and helping are synonyms. And let's talk about them. They are actually important to know because they are used a lot, and we see them in every other sentence. So they are used with main verbs to indicate tense, mood, and voice. So it means they are not the main verbs. They are helping verbs, and they are used with the main verbs and modify their meaning, and they show, they modify the tense or talk about the tense or about the mood and about the voice. Such as, for example, if we see in terms of mood in English language, there are three different modes of language. And we see they are imperative, subjunctive, and indicative mood. Imperative actually talk about like command and request. It means they include the sentences that have command or request in it. And then there is subjunctive mood. It includes those sentences which have like which show wishes, desires, or suggestions. And finally, indicative mood. It talks about the facts when sentences are used or based on the facts. So they come in this indicative moods, under indicative moods. And if we talk about the tense, how they talk or they indicate the tense. So when we say he is going to the market, and if we change is into was, so this present continuous tense changes into past continuous tense. He was going to the market. So this like is and was changes the tense. It took it from present continuous to the past continuous. And if we talk about the voices, and we know that in passive voice, these helping verbs are used. For example, we can say, uh, it is done by him. So this is used there. And similarly, you can change is into was, it was done by him. So that's their usage of helping or auxiliary verbs. And finally, to be verbs. To be verbs are also like helping verbs. but they are just like the second or third form of is, are. In this case, we see here is, are, am, was, were, be, being, being. So these all like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4, 8 verbs are called to be verbs. So that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Bye bye. Take care.